you're making burgers and sausages and shit like
That's
that.
a very good
And a
point.
Wagyu beef is just a pre-made
That's a
fat
very good point,
thing.
yeah.
So it's just dumb doing it.
I had no idea before that. Yeah. You could make a belly rib.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's still
You
getting
got a thing on
going
your
through.
face.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's like a.
Get away from your face.
No, that's just your face.
That's just my face. It won't come off, bro. It won't come off.
That's because your jacket is too much.
Does that go to A flat?
It's
Or is that
E
the
major.
same?
E major, C sharp minor, C sharp minor 7.
My amp's making more of a noise.
Like that. Yeah, the wasps that live in that amp are getting all excited.
Is that anything to do? It's like there's been electrical interference from that before. Is it to do with that?
Maybe it's like, I don't know, something in the atmosphere today or something. It's like,
Yeah, my amp is making a lot of feedback in it as well.
That seems to have sorted it.
What was it?
Just unplugging one of the power tools. I don't know if there's something
But it's crack rock, it's good crack rock.
Right?
God says I got this crack rock.
Yeah, I'm jealous of your crack rock. I want a crack rock.
I want crack rock,
I don't know if you noticed, Mark. When we were jamming before, I was quoting Paris, Texas. Raikuda Lee. It's on the grains list. He's just had too many. There's been a backlog of grains to show him, so it's had to be added to the grains.
You gotta see that movie.
And I've got to be in the mood to watch that because it's a very slow movie.
It's very slow.
It's
very
not bad.
sad.
Which end do I suck? Which end do I
Not
suck?
the closed one, the open one. So,
This one.
no.
This
the
one?
one with the hole, yeah.
The bars hit, the things are good, but
Yeah, anybody wants
I don't suppose you people remember what we were working on that last time with the stop and everything, but James remembers it. If James remembers it, then that's good, so we should do that.
James remembers it, you know. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, fuckers.
I remember James has got secret spy tools that he uses.
He ain't used it. He
I
just
forgot
used his
to use
mind.
it.
He used his
No,
mind grades.
Spy tools.
Liz Lemon, he used his mind
I
grades.
believe that.
Da-na-na-na-na-ba-ba.
I remember.
It's
I vaguely
okay.
remember.
So do you remember we do this? Yeah, and we know we got that into a like angsty up tempo. So we got us an E minor. We got us an E minor root on an F. We got a D minor root on an F, which we angsty. And then we got, I play this, but B minor is fine. Just accentuate two of the triad notes. Oh, so it's actually so good. Really good. And we have that. Yeah, it's better like that, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Hum bum bum bum. Bim 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 bim. Yeah. You remember it, right? Yeah, well done. We're gonna do it. I mean, I'll do the E major 7 section beforehand. Think of like pleasant memories and good times, because it's the first bit shouldn't be all like, oh, what are the chords? Oh, I'm afraid. It should be like,
What are
I'm.
the chords I'm afraid?
God, I hate you.
Sorry.
That will come across in your playing, and it will be sad, and people will look at that man and say, "Why is he sad? Why is guitar playing sad?" They will say, "What is this, Mummy? I don't want to watch this. I want to go home." They will say.
I reckon if we all went to super sad, that'd be good.
Well, that's a good kind of art. We don't know about that.
We're gonna upset your children.
Yeah.
That's right, baby. You caught that octopus, you son of a bitch.
You see that really sad band when they want to go home?
I mean, how sad can we play it? That's
I heard you. Fuck you.
I love that. That was great.
Hard. C sharp minor 7. Way! Okay, great. Now we can play. Where are we off this time? Was that you were playing, Jess? Was that like an A or something?
That was, yeah.
So it sounded a little dis. No, not out of tune. Just sounded a little too. It was countering too much against the chords.
Could you try this? This is quite nice. It's like a. What's it? Something like that. So it's the bass.
But this was just a rock note.
Alright, I don't know. Alright, I'll play that.
Yeah.
What is the chord you're ending on?
So the chords here it's E major, C sharp minor.
Okay.
But yeah, you get that bit later when you take the grab.
I like
Got that. Stay on the E later at one point.
Yeah, hang on, just repeat these chords.
Get pretty
That's the
gratitude.
transition.
There's
Yeah.
lots of gratitude. Everyone's all happy about it. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, come on. I want to be scared and afraid. Would you have?
Oh,
If we ever got accidentally well known and people got our ripple and be like, and Jimmy, of course, loved Walk This Way.
I can't play any of it apart from. That's not good though.
like, that sounded good. Like, that thing we just played.
Yeah.
It sounded cool.
No,
No, I mean, that less so. But
The actual thing.
the actual thing, yeah.
Well, I like that we just fucked around for a while. It's good to just fuck around.
Yeah, yeah.